Good morning, students. This is your practical class of forcing technique in vegetable production, and we have to study it in about the study of different types of protected structure we are using for protected cultivation. So, uh, as you all know that protected cultivation is a kind of method in which we are growing off-season crops so that we can eat it and get their nutrition in the season when they are not grown. So this is about the protected cultivation. So after this completion of the practical, you should know about the different type of protected structures. You get the knowledge about protected cultivation, and you also know about the advantages and limitations of protected cultivation. So the definition is same as we studied in our theory lecture, that it is a process of growing crops in a controlled environment, and in which we are controlling the temperature, the humidity, the light. And protected cultivation is also defined as the modification of natural environment to achieve optimum plant growth. Protected cultivation, it is the modification of natural environment to achieve optimum plant growth and to get nutrition in all over the year. Okay, so that's why we are doing protected cultivation. And so different types of protected structures are there, like tunnels, net house, greenhouse, and mist chambers. So these are the kind of structures we are using for protected cultivation. So I just want to give you a detail about the poly houses, because you all know that at large scale we are preferring polyhouses. So a polyhouse, it is a special structure in which we are building a kind of hut-like structure for plants in a controlled condition, and it is covered with a transparent material so as to permit the entry of natural light. And the polyhouse and the greenhouse are both are the same terms, they are not different. And traditionally greenhouses were constructed on wooden form. Now right now they also be constructed by using the bamboos. Okay, and in previously they are using glass as a covering material, and after when they know that there is a formation of plastic, and there is a upcoming of plastic technology, so the glass is replaced with that uh, plastic material, either it is polythene or polyvinyl sheet we are using. So the main principle of polyhouse is just a simple thing, that we are creating a not normal condition. We are constructing a control condition for the plants so that they can be grown in, I can say, off season. So you are seeing here that the sun rays are coming and shorter waves are also coming inside, and the infrared rays are getting reflected back and cannot pass through that glass. Okay, and the long wave lengths radiated to the atmosphere. So that's why the temperature of inside the poly house is quite, I can say, higher than the normal temperature, because it is conserving all type of waves, okay, as well as the gases. So the temperature is quite higher than the normal conditions. So where we have to construct it. So before constructing a poly house or a greenhouse, you should know about the site selection. So how you select the site, what kind of things you have to take in your mind to construct your poly house. So first point is the soil pH should be ranges from 5.5 to 6.5, and there should be a proper I can say proper and good quality of water should be used for irrigation purpose, because we are preferring micro irrigation system. So for micro irrigation system, there should be a good quality of water, because if we are using any kind of impure water, so the impurities can easily jam the nozzles of the drip irrigation system, and that's why we are preferring a good quality water, because fertigation is also be used in these kind of micro irrigation. So fertigation is the process in which we are doing irrigation with fertilizers. Mostly we are using liquid fertilizer for fertilizing our field of protected cultivation, and the pH of the irrigation water should also be from 5.5 to neutral, and there should be good supply of electricity, because if you are using automated poly house, so there should be a good quality of electricity. There, if there is a power cut, you should have a generator there, so that there is no shortage of electricity there. Okay, so ground slope for drainage is an important factor. If the slope length is, I can say, undulated, let me annotate you. So guys, suppose if you are building your poly house in these kinds of land, so there is a problem of drainage. The water can stand here easily, and the slope should be like this, so that there should be no drainage and no water standing here in the poly house. The slope should be minimum or leveled, I can say. Okay, hope it is clear to all of you what I am saying in this point. And because if the surface water can't be drained out from that area, so it can be withstand there, and there will be the, I can say, the problem of mosquitoes and other insects incident also takes place. Secondly, the greenhouse should be located away from all the buildings and trees. We don't require any kind of tree, and we don't require any kind of building around the poly house, because once there should be a high waves, or I can say there should be the storm condition came, so the tree can easily fall on that poly house, and the shade should be have to build our greenhouses in plain areas, or in that areas where there should be no buildings and trees. And second thing is that we need a proper sunlight for polyhouse. We don't want any kind of blockage, and the area should be pollution free. Second thing is there should be good transport facilities to nearby markets, and there should be easy and cheap availability of laborers. And second thing, communication facility should also be available at the site, because there should be the automation system and electricity system, or if there is any kind of, I can say, short circuit, so we need a communication facility for it. We need communication facility for our transportation also. So this is all about the site selection of different kinds of poly houses. So next point is the classification of various structural shape of frames. We are using different kind of poly houses and different kind of protected structures. So basically, on the basis of structural shape of frame, we are divided our poly houses or greenhouses into three types. Okay, one is attached, second is detached, and third is connected. So in attached, this kind of polyhouse is attached with the house, okay, with the house wall. And detached, it means it is free and in a standing position without any, I can say, without any support. And the connected poly houses, or these are those houses which they are connected in a large scale. We are connecting 4 to 5 poly houses together. I will show you the picture. So this is the attached polyhouse in which there is a wall here, and we are getting the support of the polyhouse getting the support of this wall. Okay, so this kind of polyhouse is developed for flowers mostly, and for succulents also, and also developed there where there is a shortage of space and there is a limited space, and it is least expensive, and the availability of water and electricity is quite easier in these kind of poly houses. Next is the detached structures. So these are the separate structure, as as I already told you that they are free living. Okay, we can, and they doesn't need any kind of support. They just stand on their own by using different kind of poles, and they can be set apart from any other building. So that the sunlight should be in a proper manner, so we can develop them on a large scale also and on a small scale also as per your requirement. So these are connected type of poly houses. As you all are seeing that they are connected, one and another is connected to. So basically there you see six connected poly houses. So that is on a large scale. So these come under connected poly house. Then types of poly house based on shape and sizes. So first is the barrel shaped, second is the region furrow shaped, and third is the sawtooth. So it is quite you are seeing in this diagram that barrel shaped means, have you seen in your previous picture? Wait a second. So as you are seeing this is the barrel shaped poly house. Okay, and it is in a connected form. Then ridge furrow type, that you are seeing there is a, this is ridge and this is furrow. Okay. So this is ridge furrow type polyhouse, and this is sawtooth type of polyhouse in which there is a angle. Okay. Next is the type of polyhouses based on the ventilation, I can say. So they are divided into two based on ventilation. One is low cost or natural ventilated polyhouse. Second is medium cost and partial climate control polyhouse. And third one is high cost or fully climate control polyhouse. Then plastic low tunnels and net houses. So in low cost or natural ventilated polyhouse, they are, I can say, they are no low initial investment. We need very less amount to construct these kind of polyhouses, and they can be constructed by using bamboos and timbers, and no specific control devices are to be placed in these kind of poly houses. They just, we just need a manual labor, and he or she can be easily use these kind of, I can say, for upping of these sheets, and for ventilation purpose we just require a labor. And these kind of poly houses are suitable during cold weather, and they can be constructed during in the hilly areas mostly. Okay. So next is the medium cost of partial climate control polyhouses, and the structural frame is made up of galvanized iron pipes. We are using galvanized iron pipe. Actually, they are very stronger, and we are also using exhaust fans. Means what they are saying that in this low cost, if we are placing exhaust fans and we are using iron pipes, so that come under medium cost or partial climate control polyhouse. So cooling pad is used for humidifying the air and entering the polyhouse, and they are suitable for vegetable cultivation like in tomato. Okay, and they are this kind of polyhouses are followed up in low hills in northwest Himalayas. Next is the high cost of fully climate controlled polyhouses. In this also we are using, I can say, same galvanized pipes. Okay. Um, I will show you the picture. We are using large number of exhaust fans. We are using coolers on one side, and we are using micro irrigation system, which is automated, okay, which is computerized, and there is a proper formation. You are seeing we are using a cemented base here for entering into the polyhouse. We are making a shed, small shed. Then there is a polyhouse actually. So these kind of uh, polyhouses are known as high cost polyhouses. We are using very good material for setting up these kind of polyhouses. Next is the plastic low tunnels. These tunnels are made for raising the seedlings and protecting the seedlings or plant from rain, winds, low temperature, frost purpose, and they have so these plastic low tunnels are made to create a microclimate that is for very smaller area and for seedlings, and that is also known as miniature form of polyhouse, and we are protecting the plants here from heavy winds, frost during winter, and it is the best way for off-season vegetable nursery production. And the nursery bed we are preparing for making these kind of low tunnels is about 3 into 1 into zero point 0.5 centimeter, means length into breadth into height. Then a portable low plastic tunnel of size should be used. It means 3.5 nursery, and we are using the iron poles also, and we are also using the wood also. Okay. Next is the net houses. These are the simple frame structures, and we are using 40 nets, and is of very we are using higher mesh because so that the incident of insect can't take place, because if we are using the smaller mesh, so the insects and other pests can easily enter into that greenhouse and harm our crop plants, and that is also for controlling the flying insects. Those insects which are flying, we are controlling these kind of insect by constructing net houses, and netting is also used for maintaining environment, and also provide isolation from the insect borne pollen. So, and another kind of polyhouse are those polyhouse in which we are using plastic mulch. So, mulch is any kind of organic material or inorganic material which we are placing on our crop plants for improving our soil temperature, controlling the weeds, and controlling the evaporation. So, we are using mulches, and plastic mulch is also be used in a number of crops like strawberry. Okay, in tomato also we are using it, and mulch material can be organic or inorganic, as I already told you. And nowadays, plastic mulch are more preferable in protected cultivation. And mostly these mulches are black plastic mulch. Okay, the black means the sheet is in black in color. Then white plastic mulch means the sheet is white in color, and yellow plastic mulch. This mulch is used for reducing the viruses in the several vegetable crops like solanaceous crop means tomato, okay, brinjal. So this is all about the different type of polyhouses. Now the crops covered under the polyhouse are carnation, rose, gerbera, orchids. These all are flowers. Okay. And on other side, one is strawberry, cabbage, cucumber, tomato, and capsicum. These are the vegetable crops which we are using under polyhouse. So these kind of crops can easily grow in the polyhouse. Next, the crops under the shade net house means in the green net house are chilies, okra, broccoli, capsicum, rose also, arthurium, gerbera, cucumber, bottle gourd, and ridge gourd. So we can raise these kind of vegetables in the shade net houses. So this is all about the different kind of protected structures. Now the advantages of protected cultivation. One is unfavorable. We can grow our crop in an unfavorable agroclimatic condition. We can get vegetables all over the year. There is a quality production. There is a higher input use efficiency. And next point is management of insect pest and diseases. Then agriculture income per unit area also increases and provide excellent opportunity to produce vegetables. Next is the limitation that they are very costly in nature. If you are constructing a glass poly house, so that is very costlier than the plastic poly house. Okay. Next, you have to need a skilled human power. So for controlling your technical problems and for managing your technical accessories which are placed in your poly houses, like your drip irrigation, automated drip irrigation, automated lights we are using. So we should need a skilled human power and lack of technical knowledge of growing crops. So the limitation is we don't have that technical knowledge. Each and every person don't have technical knowledge of protected cultivation, so it is a big limitation because we need a technical knowledge. We need skilled human power, but that is lacking nowadays. And we need a regular supervision and monitoring. We also focuses on different kind of, I can say, insect pest incidents. So airborne pathogens are difficult to manage. Okay, and maintenance of the all the automated machines are quite difficult and become a major hurdle. Other repair and maintenance are quite difficult. Next point is required assured marketing. Okay, this is the limitations of protected cultivation. So this is all about today's practical. If you have any query, so you may ask me.